You're busy watching breaking news. I'm watching what breaks countries. This isn't a press release. It's a prelude. Pakistan has just greenlit the acquisition of one of China's most advanced missile defense systems, the HQ-19. Most think it's a response to what already happened. They're wrong. It's preparation for what comes next. In May 2025, India confirmed it had struck multiple Pakistani airbases using BrahMos cruise missiles and precision air-launched munitions under Operation Sindoor. This was no surgical tap. Satellite imagery released by Maxar and corroborated by independent defense trackers showed heavy damage at Murid, Nurkan, Bahawalpur, and Chaklala air bases. Cratered runways, collapsed hangars, burn patterns stretching across multiple tarmacs. Pakistani military sources admitted limited but targeted strikes on high-value facilities. Civilian flights were diverted. Airspace over Punjab and Sindh briefly locked down. No matter the political spin, the message landed. India can and will reach deep into Pakistan, fast. Weeks later, news emerged that Pakistan had finalized a deal with China to acquire the HQ-19 missile defense system. Not a radar, not a conventional interceptor. Strategic exo-atmospheric ballistic missile shield. This wasn't about restoring pride. It was a shift in doctrine. Because while BrahMos caused damage, it also exposed something bigger. Pakistan's vulnerability to long-range, high-arc ballistic missiles. The HQ-19 isn't built to shoot down low-flying cruise missiles like BrahMos. It wasn't designed for terrain-hugging threats or drone swarms. It's a high-altitude guardian, designed to intercept medium to intermediate range ballistic missiles while they're still in their mid-course phase, outside the Earth's atmosphere. At the core of the system is a two-stage solid-fueled interceptor, fitted with a kinetic kill vehicle. No explosive warhead. Instead, it uses pure velocity and precision to slam directly into its target. A hit-to-kill approach. Think of it as orbital sniping at Mach 15. Tracking is provided by a long-range phased array radar system, believed to be a variant of China's Type 305A X-band system, capable of detecting incoming threats over 1,000 kilometers away, with tracking fidelity high enough to differentiate between real warheads, decoys, and penetration aids. The missile itself can reportedly engage targets at altitudes of up to 300-500 kilometers, depending on trajectory. That puts it in the same envelope as India's Agni 2 and Agni 4 during their mid-course arc, and even gives it a theoretical shot at high-apogee ICBM-class threats like Agni V, though with lower probability of kill. What makes it even more dangerous is its networked engagement capability. Paired with airborne early warning aircraft and space-based sensors, likely fed by China's Beidou navigation constellation and surveillance satellites, the HQ-19 forms part of a layered architecture that allows it to cue onto threats early, track through exo-atmospheric flight, and receive course correction updates mid-flight. In terms of doctrine, it plays the same role as THAAD, Arrow 3, or S-500 Prometheus, not point defense, but strategic asset protection. In Pakistan's case, that likely means deployment near nuclear command centers, missile silos, and hardened airbases, areas too critical to leave exposed during an Agni barrage. It's not invincible, but it introduces friction into India's strategic calculus, and that friction buys time. Time to retaliate, time to disrupt, time to survive. So here's the twist. This isn't about BrahMos. BrahMos was a test, a message, a poke at the armor. The HQ-19 isn't being bought to stop what already hit. It's being bought to stop what might. Something far more destructive. India's Agni missile series. Agni 2, Agni 4, Agni V, long range, nuclear capable, high trajectory. These aren't weapons of deterrence anymore. They're part of an evolving strike doctrine, designed for deep impact, rapid escalation, and first strike capability in a full-scale war. And Pakistan knows that if BrahMos was the warning, Agni is the hammer. That's what the HQ-19 is for. The moment the HQ-19 becomes operational inside Pakistan, the entire regional threat calculus shifts. Till now, India held the clear edge in strategic delivery systems. It could strike first and deep, confident that no Pakistani system could intercept a high-altitude ballistic missile. Not anymore. The HQ-19 doesn't guarantee survival, but it introduces uncertainty. And in nuclear strategy, uncertainty is power. For the first time, Pakistan has a partial exo-atmospheric layer, a last-ditch chance to knock an Agni missile out of the sky before it levels a city. That single variable can delay launches, prevent them altogether. Let's talk about the supplier. China didn't just hand over an import license. It transferred its crown jewel in high-altitude missile defense, and it did it with zero public fanfare. No press conference, no parade, no diplomatic show, because this wasn't a military deal. It was a message. To India, you're not the only one evolving. To the US, Beijing now projects missile defense capability beyond its borders. To Pakistan, you're not alone in this equation. This isn't just about intercepting threats. It's about building the architecture for survival in a world where escalation is no longer hypothetical. The HQ-19 is not meant to protect the skies every day. It's not built to guard airfields or stop drone swarms. It's a second-wave system. When the first nuclear strike is inbound, when you have seconds to act, and you're down to your last shield. This is when the HQ-19 matters. It turns a guaranteed hit into a contested one. That changes how generals think and how missiles are aimed. Most people think defense is about tanks, jets, troop numbers. But in reality, defense is about altitude. How high you can see, how early you can kill, and how much pain you can avoid in the first 2 minutes of war. Pakistan didn't just buy a system. It bought time-dot seconds that could prevent a city from vanishing, or retaliate before the second wave hits. So don't look at the BrahMos strikes for answers. Look higher, at what's coming next. Because when a country like Pakistan arms itself against ballistic missiles, not drones, not cruise strikes, but nuclear-capable ballistic missiles, it's not just reacting, it's preparing. And when China hands over the tech to do it, silently, methodically, that's not support, that's doctrine. Does it mean full-scale war is imminent? Not necessarily. But it means Islamabad believes it's now possible. And so does Beijing. If both sides are building for a war, they swear they'll never fight, and positioning their shields for a strike they swear won't come, then maybe the countdown has already started. Tactics, tech, truth. Subscribe to the Tactical Grid. Because by the time most people understand the threat, it's already in the sky.